we might as well start with the ones that are the most difficult for me anyway, but we'll go through these together. We're making inferences, and inference is when you make an inference, you're generally reading something and you are using prior knowledge, things that are already in your brain, to draw conclusions. I'm going to use a brown marker today, lucky use. But we are on lesson 1, making inferences. In 1829, Daniel Webster started a page program in the United States Senate. The pages are young people who work for the senator. For example, pages run errands and deliver messages. Pages are chosen by the senators of their home states. They must be 16 years old, have good grades, and show leadership qualities. Pages live near the Capitol building and attend school. They are excused from homework when the senators work overtime. Pages get paid, but the biggest reward is the experience of working in the Senate. Fill in the correct circle to show whether each statement is a fact or an inference. So, pages run errands for senators. I believe that's a fact. Pages are interested in government. Not all pages, likely, are interested in government. Some of them just want to rub shoulders with the fancy people. Pages go to school. That is a fact. In fact, they need to prove that they're going to school and getting good grades before they can be considered for the page program. And it is an honor to be a Senate page. I think that it's an honor, but some people might not think it's an honor. So I'm going to say it's an inference. Write yes or no under each heading on the chart to show if the word describes a Senate page. Busy. I'm going to say yes. They refer to the Senate working overtime. Responsible. Yes. They have to show up every day, get paid, and they've already shown that they're really good workers at their school. And lazy. I'm going to say no. Doesn't sound like they're being lazy. Ooh, my favorite part of every page is putting your name at the top. Makes it way easier for me to correct and put grades in. All right, going on to making inferences, lesson 2. Have you ever heard of a walking school bus? Students in some parts of the United States travel by such buses every day. The driver of these buses is often a parent who leads a group to and from school on foot. If the group is large, there is usually another adult who acts as the conductor and walks at the rear of the group to make sure that everyone stays together. Students are picked up and dropped off at their homes. Walking buses help students get fresh air, and they also help reduce pollution and traffic congestion. Fill in the circle to show whether each statement is a fact or an inference. Walking school buses provide good exercise. I would say that's an inference. So the word good is usually something that's subjective. So if one person says, oh, it's really good exercise, it really stretches out my legs. Another person, say they had a broken leg, could say, this is not good exercise, it is killing my leg. All right, 2 adults usually occupy a large group. That is a fact. They said there was a leader or a driver and a conductor in the back. Slow walkers could cause problems for a group. That is an inference. I, in fact, love walking slowly, but that is just my opinion or inference. Walking buses aren't much fun in bad weather. And that's an inference. That might be some of the kids' most favorite times in bad weather. So write yes or no under each heading on the chart to show if the word describes a walking school bus. Healthy. I would say yes. Because the school buses there isn't the congestion of traffic, so not as many school buses or cars picking kids up. Unsafe. I would say no. There's a couple of adults, it sounds like, stay with the kids, one in the back and one in the front. And expensive. I'd say no. Probably you could make an argument for being even less expensive than the regular stuff. Whew, these are going quick. We are already on lesson 3. I gotta make some adjustments here for you. Okay. You've heard of recycling, but do you know about free cycling? When you free cycle, you give away things you no longer want or need. Free cyclers can also acquire things that someone else is getting rid of. Lists of things available for free cycling and lists of things wanted by free cyclers are posted on websites. People who sign up and find just what they want then arrange to pick up the items. Some popular items for free cyclers are bicycles, exercise equipment, furniture, and computer parts. Fill in the correct circle to show whether each statement is a fact or an inference. Free cycling is handy if you're cleaning your garage. That is an inference. Some people don't want to give away anything for free.
This is a flip-around.
You could furnish a room from free cycled items. I think you definitely could, but that is an inference. Computer parts are favorite recycled items. Inference. It's easiest to free cycle with people who are nearby. Also an inference. I'm thinking maybe because we didn't do any facts, I'm going to go fact right here. Because, I mean, maybe you could furnish it. Whether it's good furnishing or not would be an inference. Okay, so write yes or no under each heading on the chart to show if the word describes free cycling. Costly. No. It is free, as in the name. Dishonest. I don't think so. Useful. I'd say yes. All right. Moving on to making inferences, exercise 4. NASCAR is the National Association for Stock Car Racing. In recent years, this organization has made some changes in its rules. For example, steel and foam cushioning has been placed around NASCAR tracks to better absorb impact from hurtling cars. Race car drivers must now wear special head restraints that limit their neck movements during sudden stops. Air filters have been added to race cars to keep carbon monoxide out of the cockpit. The tires also have straps now to keep the wheels from flying off during crashes. So we are going to fill in the circles to show whether each statement is a fact or an inference. NASCAR's new rules were made to improve safety. Fact. Drivers now wear head restraints. That is also a fact. Race car drivers are sometimes hurt in accidents. That is a fact. Race cars give off carbon monoxide. Again, I'm going to go back through and go. I wonder if some people would think that they made new rules to improve safety and other ones to restrict freedom. Okay, write yes or no under each heading on the chart to show if the word describes stock car racing. Unregulated. No. Regulated means that they make up rules for it. Safety conscious. I would say yes, even though race car driving is super dangerous. And dangerous, yes. Okay, moving on to exercise 5. Continuing to make inferences. Remember, inferences are results that your brain jumps to by combining new information that you're reading and old information that's just in your brain. Okay, when they come to a stoplight, drivers sometimes look at the people in other cars. Mr. Barron noticed that a man in the car next to him had a large green parrot on the passenger seat. The parrot seemed to be talking. When the man rolled down his window, Mr. Barron was surprised to hear that the bird wasn't talking, but barking. The owner leaned out his window and explained, "He lives with 3 golden retrievers and he thinks he's a dog." The light changed and Mr. Barron smiled all the way home. So fact or inference, Mr. Barron noticed a large green parrot in the car. That is a fact. Mr. Barron was curious. That is an inference. The parrot learned to bark by listening to the dogs. That is an inference. The parrot's behavior amused Mr. Barron. Inference. So write yes or no under each heading on the chart to show if the word describes Mr. Barron's reaction. Tickled. Yes. Yeah, it was funny. Disapproving. No. Didn't hurt his feelings or anyone else's. Uninterested. No, he was very interested. He rolled down his window. So we are moving on. Oofta, we are going quick today. We're only on 10 minutes. Okay, we are moving on to exercise 6. If you notice my dirty little fingers, sorry. We were planting stuff earlier. Okay, making inferences. Exercise 6 and our last one for this week. Great Zimbabwe, a ruins located within the African country of Zimbabwe, was a center of trade from the late 13th century to the middle of the 15th century. It was also the home of powerful rulers. Today, scientists are studying the walls found among the ruins. They are made of smooth granite and are about 35 feet high and 16 feet deep. No mortar or plaster was used in building them. Some archaeologists believe that the walls were built not for defense but to inspire awe toward the rulers. Fill in the correct circle to show whether each statement is a fact or an inference. Great Zimbabwe is located in Africa. You can look at any map to prove that. Great Zimbabwe is a place of historic value. That's an inference. Some people might think it's totally lame. Other people might think it's just wonderful. The builders of the walls were skilled. That was an inference. The walls of Great Zimbabwe reached 35 feet high, and that is a fact. Write yes or no under each heading on the chart to show if the word describes Great Zimbabwe. Fascinating. In my opinion, yes. Polluted. Didn't say anything about that. Ancient. Yes. Okay, thanks you guys. I hope this was helpful to you. Talk to you soon. Bye.